the stress around family side of things, that does overwhelm me quite a bit. But in terms of, doing the job and things like that, I don't feel too overwhelmed by that. Not now, anyway.
During a live television appearance watched across the UK, Prince William made a statement about Meghan Markle that instantly froze the room. It was brief, calm, and carefully chosen. Yet its meaning hit harder than anyone imagined. Within minutes, social media exploded. Headlines changed and royal watchers sat in stunned silence. This was not a rumor, and it was not leaked. It came straight from him on air with no warning. What did William say, and why did it shock the nation? Join as we delve into this interesting story and uncover what really happened, the live TV moment, and the breaking point. The story of Prince William's shocking television appearance didn't come out of nowhere. It was the result of years of building tension, public scrutiny, and private family struggles that finally reached a point where silence was no longer an option. When Prince William sat down with Canadian actor Eugene Levy for The Reluctant Traveler in late 2025, the world expected another polite and carefully controlled royal interview. Instead, they got something completely different. William opened up in ways that stunned viewers across the United Kingdom and beyond, and his words carried messages that went far deeper than what appeared on the surface. The interview took place at Windsor Castle, where William invited Levy into a traditional English pub setting for what seemed like a casual conversation over beer. The atmosphere looked relaxed and friendly, but what William said during that conversation was anything but casual. "Broke a rug can be pulled from under one of your feet quite quick at any point. You maybe think to yourself, it won't happen to us." He described 2024 as the hardest year of my life and called it brutal because of the cancer battles faced by both his wife Catherine and his father King Charles. The vulnerability in his statement was striking because William has always been known for keeping his emotions private and maintaining the stiff upper lip expected of future kings. For him to openly admit struggle and pain on television signaled that something fundamental had changed in how he approached his public role. But here's the most interesting part. While William spoke about his family's health challenges with genuine emotion, royal experts immediately noticed that his words contained layers of meaning that went beyond the obvious. He wasn't just talking about cancer and personal hardship. He was sending carefully crafted messages about family values, royal duty, and the clear differences between how he and his brother Harry have chosen to live their lives. Throughout the interview, William emphasized his commitment to raising his children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, with what he called security and openness, while protecting them from the intense media pressures that he and Harry experienced growing up. On the surface, this sounded like reasonable parenting advice from a concerned father. But commentators across British media recognized it immediately as a pointed criticism of Harry and Meghan's approach to raising their own children in California. By stressing his dedication to balancing security with openness, William was drawing a clear line between his parenting philosophy and the Sussex strategy of leveraging media attention through Netflix deals, interview specials, and constant public visibility. Royal watchers noted that William's emphasis on protecting his children from media pressure was particularly significant given that Harry and Meghan have made their children part of their public brand while simultaneously complaining about invasion of privacy. What made this interview even more significant was its timing. It came just weeks after reports emerged that King Charles had been considering a Christmas reconciliation with Harry and Meghan. The king, who has always had a softer approach to family conflicts, reportedly wanted to use the holiday season as an opportunity for healing and bringing the family back together. According to palace insiders, Charles believed that enough time had passed since the explosive revelations in Harry's memoir, Spare, and that the family should move toward forgiveness and unity. His own health battles had apparently made him more aware of mortality and the importance of resolving conflicts before it's too late. However, William had very different ideas about reconciliation, and what he did next shocked even those closest to the royal family. Multiple sources reported in December 2025 that when King Charles proposed inviting Harry and Meghan back to the UK for a Christmas peace deal, William shut down the idea immediately and forcefully. The Prince of Wales reportedly told his father in no uncertain terms that Meghan Markle returning to the royal family would happen over his dead body. This wasn't a figure of speech or an emotional outburst, but a carefully considered position delivered with absolute seriousness and determination. According to insiders who spoke to various media outlets, William explained to his father that he views Meghan as a threat to the institution of the monarchy itself. He argued that allowing her back into the royal fold would send the wrong message to the public and would undermine the stability that the family has worked so hard to rebuild since the Sussexes' departure in 2020. William emphasized that protecting the crown and ensuring its future success was more important than achieving temporary family harmony or satisfying his father's desire for reconciliation. His position was that some relationships, once broken, cannot and should not be repaired, especially when the integrity of a centuries-old institution is at stake. This hardline stance represented a significant escalation in how William has been handling the Sussex situation. For years, the palace strategy had been to maintain dignified silence and avoid public confrontation with Harry and Meghan's various accusations and revelations. This approach was based on the old royal saying never complain, never explain, and the belief that engaging with criticism only gives it more attention and legitimacy. But William's reported ultimatum suggested that behind the scenes, the situation had deteriorated far beyond what the public had been allowed to see. The future king was no longer willing to play the waiting game or hope that time would heal the wounds. Royal experts analyzing William's position noted that his determination to keep Meghan out of the family reflected deeper concerns about what her presence would mean for the monarchy's future. Many observers believe William sees Meghan as someone who fundamentally misunderstood or rejected the requirements of royal life and who then used her platform to damage the institution after leaving. Her accusations of racism within the royal family during the Oprah interview, combined with the ongoing stream of revelations and criticisms from both her and Harry, have created what William reportedly views as an unforgivable breach of trust and loyalty. The conflict between William and his father over this issue also revealed a generational divide within the royal family about how to handle crisis and conflict. King Charles, shaped by his own difficult experiences with his parents and the breakdown of his marriage to Diana, tends toward empathy and reconciliation. He understands what it feels like to be misunderstood by the institution and criticized by the public, and this makes him more sympathetic to Harry's complaints and more willing to forgive past grievances. Charles also carries the emotional weight of being a father who wants his sons to reconcile before it's too late. William, however, approaches the situation from a completely different perspective. As the heir to the throne, he feels a profound responsibility to protect the monarchy's reputation and ensure its survival for future generations. He watched his mother, Princess Diana, suffer under media scrutiny and saw how personal drama can threaten the institution's stability and public support. His experiences have taught him that the monarchy's survival depends on maintaining dignity, discretion, and clear boundaries about what is acceptable behavior for royal family members. From his viewpoint, Harry and Meghan cross those boundaries repeatedly and deliberately, and allowing them back would signal that such behavior has no real consequences. But here's the most intriguing part, so stay tuned. The hiring war and William's ultimate power move. The television appearance wasn't the only shocking move William has made recently. In early 2025, Prince William made an announcement that sent even bigger shockwaves through both the United Kingdom and California. On April 17, 2025, the Earthshot Prize posted a statement revealing that William had appointed Jason Knopf as the new CEO of his prestigious environmental organization. To most people unfamiliar with royal history, this seemed like a straightforward business decision about hiring a qualified executive. But for anyone who has followed the royal family drama closely, this appointment meant something entirely different. Jason Knopf is the man who filed the original bullying complaint against Meghan Markle back in 2018. He accused her of mistreating staff members during her time at Kensington Palace. Knopf served as communications secretary to both the Camages and the Sussexes, which means he worked closely with all four royals and witnessed the tensions that happened behind palace walls. His formal complaint alleged that Meghan had driven two personal assistants out of the household and undermined the confidence of a third staff member. According to the complaint, the behavior left young women feeling humiliated on several occasions. But here's where things get really interesting. When Buckingham Palace announced in 2021 that it would investigate these allegations, Meghan's legal team issued strong denials. They suggested the claims were part of a calculated smear campaign designed to damage her reputation right before her explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey aired. The palace conducted the investigation privately and never publicly released the findings, which only added more speculation and controversy. For years afterward, Knauf remained a controversial figure in the Sussex story. Meghan's supporters viewed him as someone who betrayed her, while her critics saw him as someone who bravely spoke up about unacceptable behavior. And by appointing Knauf to lead the Earthshot Prize, William had sent an unmistakable message to everyone watching. This appointment told the world exactly where his allegiances lie and who he believes. This move also signaled to palace staff that speaking up about unacceptable behavior will not result in career punishment, but may actually lead to professional advancement and continued royal favor. Many people even started calling this the Knauf Doctrine, a new standard for how William plans to handle loyalty and trust within his organization. Also, Richard Fitzwilliams, who has studied the royal family for years, told Fox News that William's decision to make Knauf the CEO of his most prestigious project will infuriate Harry and Meghan. However, the Earthshot Prize announced earlier this year that the original CEO, Hannah Jones, departed from her post in the summer of 2025 after 4 years of service. Knauf joined Earthshot immediately and worked with her during a transition period to ensure everything ran smoothly. In the official statement, William praised Jones for building the prize into a world-class organization with an incredible team. He stated that he looked forward to working with Jason to lead the prize through its next 5 years and beyond. While the wording was professional and routine, the deeper significance of the appointment was clear to everyone. Furthermore, the timing of Knauf's appointment made it even more pointed. It came at a moment when Meghan was attempting to rebuild her public image and launch her new lifestyle brand called American Riviera Orchard. She had been positioning herself as a business entrepreneur and lifestyle influencer, trying to move beyond the royal drama and focus on commercial ventures. Having the man who filed bullying allegations against her suddenly elevated to run the future, King's most prestigious charitable initiative brought unwelcome attention back to past controversies, just when she wanted to move forward. For someone building a brand based partly on personal authenticity and kindness, the timing could not have been worse. The contrast was clear and impossible to ignore. The reaction across the United Kingdom has been sharply divided along lines that reflect how people feel about the Sussex situation in general. A significant portion of the British public viewed William's decision as a strong and appropriate move by a future king who refuses to be intimidated. These supporters see the appointment as William finally standing up for the staff members who work loyally for the royal family. Online comments and social media discussions showed widespread approval from those who felt consequences for Meghan's alleged behavior were overdue. Many praised William for not worrying about potential criticism from California. This appointment also seemed to energize those who believed the palace had been too gentle for too long in addressing the Sussex situation. However, another group of people criticized the appointment. They felt it was unnecessarily provocative and petty. These critics argued that a future king should stay above such gestures. They believed he should focus on moving the monarchy forward rather than digging up past conflicts. Some experts even questioned if this public move was appropriate for someone who will one day represent everyone regardless of their views on family drama. They suggested the move showed William was not ready to make peace with his brother and sister-in-law. This debate showed that people are still deeply divided over Harry and Meghan's departure and the claims they have made. The appointment effectively shut the door on any real chance of Harry and Meghan ever returning to working royal roles within the system. Even if things somehow changed later and the couple decided they wanted to take on official duties again. Fact that Jason Knauf now holds such a powerful position within William's team makes that outcome almost impossible, bridge that had been burned beyond repair. And they saw it as a clear point of no return in a family relationship that was already deeply fractured. The Earthshot Prize itself matters a great deal because it reflects William's personal vision for his future as king and the causes he plans to focus on when that time comes. The project is built around finding and funding smart solutions to environmental problems with the aim of helping repair the planet by the year 2030. William has often described Earthshot as his generation's version of a moonshot, and he has poured an enormous amount of his own time, energy, and royal influence into making sure it succeeds.
By
choosing Canal to lead this major project earlier in the year, William made it clear that he was placing deep trust in him. He was not just picking someone capable, but someone he believes can help shape his legacy and move forward the work that matters most to him. The decision showed that Koff is not only seen as skilled but also as someone worthy of playing a central role in defining William's future reign. However, Hilary Ford-Which, who has written extensively about the British royal family, explained to Fox News Digital why this announcement carried so much weight. She said it mattered because it highlighted Jason Koff's steady support of the royal family during the bullying scandal. According to her, the move sent a clear message about the credibility of those bullying reports and was deeply damaging to Meghan Markle's position. Ford-Which also pointed out that while trust issues are not unusual within royal circles, Prince William's run especially deep because of what he sees as a betrayal by his own brother.
She
explained that Koff remains one of William's closest and most trusted advisors, and that he is firmly part of his inner circle because he showed discretion during some of the most difficult moments. Over time, their bond has only grown stronger, built on shared experiences and a sense of mutual respect that has developed through pressure and controversy. For palace staff who work across different royal households, the appointment sent a strong and unmistakable message about what truly matters. Those who uphold professional standards and show loyalty to the institution rather than to individual personalities felt reassured and supported. Palace insiders stated that the decision helped lift morale, especially among staff who had previously felt uneasy about speaking up on workplace concerns. Some staff members quietly admitted they felt relieved because it showed that standing by professional principles would be rewarded rather than punished. The appointment also brought a new sense of clarity about expectations and priorities within William's operation. It also set the tone for how he intends to lead his team as he moves closer to becoming king. In February 2025, just a few months before the appointment was made public, Canal gave a rare television interview on 60 Minutes Australia. This took place shortly before Meghan's Netflix series, With Love, Meghan, was released in March. When asked about the sudden attention he received after the bullying allegations became public, NAL described the experience as tough, but also probably quite good. He stated that when your job involves helping others deal with public pressure, you sometimes have to accept that same treatment yourself. He also added that no job allows you to pick only the enjoyable parts, and that this reality applies just as much to the prince and princess as it does to everyone who works for them. His calm and thoughtful response suggested someone who is comfortable facing controversy and who did not feel the need to avoid difficult conversations. Media coverage of the appointment quickly spread beyond the United Kingdom and ensured that the message reached people around the world. American news outlets picked up the story and placed it within the larger and ongoing narrative of the royal family's distance from the Sussexes. Many reports suggested that William's decision was meant to send a clear signal that past accusations and criticisms had not been forgotten. They also noted that the move implied there would be consequences for behavior William considered unacceptable. This coverage strengthened the idea that the divide between the two couples was no longer just personal, but had become strategic and deliberate. International media described the decision as William drawing a firm line and making sure everyone understood exactly where he stood. Sources quoted by Fox News said the appointment showed that William is no longer concerned with how Harry and Meghan feel about his choices as he builds his team and prepares for his future role. At this stage, protecting the institution and rewarding loyalty seemed to matter more to him than keeping the peace with his brother. This marked a clear shift from earlier years, when the palace appeared more careful about decisions that might trigger public reactions from the Sussexes. William now seems to believe that trying to satisfy everyone is less important than shaping the monarchy he intends to lead. The appointment made it clear that he is acting from a place of confidence rather than trying to smooth things over or preserve a sense of harmony that no longer exists. Royal commentator Fitzwilliams noted that from the Sussexes' perspective, Koff now holds what he described as pariah status. He said the move shows that William does not care what his brother thinks, and that Meghan's opinions matter even less in this context. This view matches what many observers have concluded after years of failed reconciliation efforts and increasingly firm positions on both sides. The decision to appoint Calf was not simply about staffing, but about signaling the direction William plans to take as king. It suggests that his version of the monarchy will value loyalty to the institution and professional conduct over family feelings or worries about appearing harsh in the public eye. The Earthshot appointment also sparked questions about what other decisions William might make as he continues to shape his leadership style. Because he was willing to send such a strong message with this choice, many wondered what other signals might follow. Some believe this could be the first of several appointments designed to clearly define his priorities and his refusal to compromise on trust and loyalty. Others think he is laying the foundation for a monarchy that operates differently from those before it. One where performance and discretion matter more than blood ties or past relationships. In many ways, the appointment has become a key moment in understanding how William sees his responsibilities. It shows that he views himself not only as a son dealing with family tension, but as a future king, making careful decisions about the institution's stability and reputation. This demonstrated his willingness to place long-term strength above short-term peace, a calculation that late Queen Elizabeth herself would likely have understood, even if she might have chosen a different path. William appears to have learned from watching years of internal struggle that some of the hardest choices are also the most necessary, and that protecting the monarchy sometimes means making decisions that others will see as cold, firm, or even unforgiving. But this strategic appointment is just one piece of a much larger picture. And the shocking reality of how this family drama continues reveals shocking divisions that go far deeper than anyone imagined. The financial lockdown and cutting the cord. The shock across the United Kingdom also reached a fever pitch when reports began surfacing in late December 2025 that Prince William had allegedly effectively locked the royal treasury. In his expanding role, overseeing more of the family's assets while King Charles continues recovering from his health battles, William has reportedly made a final decision. Not a single penny of royal wealth is to be used to support the Sussexes' lifestyle in California. This isn't just about stopping a monthly allowance. This represents a complete financial separation that many are calling the point of no return. The reports emerged just before Christmas 2025. Sources close to the Prince of Wales say he is livid that Harry continues to benefit from the family's prestige while simultaneously profiting from public criticisms of it. The Duke of Sussex turned 40 in September 2024. The Duke of Sussex on September 15th. Prince Harry turns 40 and recently inherited an estimated $8 million from a trust fund established by his great-grandmother. This windfall follows the roughly £10 million he inherited from his mother, Princess Diana. The Queen Mother intentionally left a larger share to Harry to compensate for the fact that William would eventually inherit the vast wealth of the Duchy of Cornwall. However, the Duchy is now under William's control. It's a £1 billion estate that once funded both brothers, but now serves exclusively for the Prince of Wales's own family. William has reportedly told his advisors that Harry must face financial repercussions for turning his back on royal life. Palace insiders say William is especially concerned about Harry and Meghan using their titles for commercial ventures, while the United Kingdom faces a cost of living crisis. The timing matters because ordinary British families are struggling with expenses and watching the Sussexes build a commercial empire using royal connections. The financial lockdown comes as Meghan prepares to launch multiple commercial ventures. Her lifestyle brand was originally called American Riviera Orchard. She launched it in March 2024 with much fanfare on social media, but the venture quickly ran into problems. The trademark application faced rejection from the United States Patent and Trademark Office multiple times. The name was considered too descriptive and geographically limiting. This forced Meghan's team to go back to the drawing board and eventually rebrand the entire venture. By late 2025, the brand had been rebranded to As Ever. The delays cost significant time and money. Industry experts estimated that the rebranding process alone cost hundreds of thousands of dollars when accounting for legal fees, new packaging designs, marketing materials, and lost momentum. The brand is expected to include a Netflix cooking show and a new line of home goods ranging from kitchen products to lifestyle items. Despite the rebrand and the investment, questions remain about whether the venture can succeed given its rocky start. William reportedly views these business moves as crossing a line. The Sussex titles are being used to promote products, and for William, this is unacceptable. You cannot claim to be a private citizen while simultaneously leveraging a royal title to build a commercial empire. The contradiction is too obvious to ignore. William has made it clear that he believes anyone using royal connections for commercial gain should not receive royal financial support. This position has hardened over time as he watched Meghan and Harry's various business ventures unfold. Much of William's frustration is reportedly directed at Meghan specifically. Sources suggest he is deeply concerned that any royal funds would simply be absorbed by her business ambitions. There is a fear within palace walls that she calls the financial shots in the Sussex household. William sees no reason why royal money should subsidize her ventures. The American Riviera orchard troubles demonstrated that these business ideas are expensive and risky. The brand burned through significant resources before it even properly launched, and that kind of financial pattern worries William immensely. Furthermore, palace sources claim that William is thinking several steps ahead. He is considering the possibility of future marital instability between Harry and Meghan. He wants to impose controls now so that Meghan does not end up claiming royal money from Harry in the event of a divorce. One senior palace source stated that William has no time for Harry anymore, but he especially does not want to see Meghan profit from royal funds that Harry has received. Rumors of a financial contingency plan suggest William is looking for legal ways to ring-fence family assets. This strategic thinking shows how seriously William takes the long-term implications of every financial decision. The shock for the UK public is seeing how cold everything has become. There are no more birthday wishes exchanged publicly between the brothers. There are no more secret meetings arranged by well-meaning relatives. There are no more shared funds or financial connections of any kind. William has reportedly told his advisors that the Sussex brand is now officially a commercial competitor. This fundamental shift has forced the UK public to witness a family war playing out through financial decisions rather than emotional appeals or public statements. The debate has also intensified around the Queen Mother's trust. Harry received his inheritance when he turned 40, and there's been massive discussion about whether this should have been blocked. The trust was established specifically to provide for the younger son who would not inherit the crown or the Duchy of Cornwall. However, William is reportedly livid about this payout. He believes that the money is essentially funding attacks on the British people and the monarchy itself. According to the IB Times UK report published on December 25, 2025, William believes that loyalty and duty must carry weight. While he may have little power to stop inheritances already legally owed to Harry, he is determined to influence King Charles and other senior family members. No further royal funds should find their way to California. William has told his inner circle that if limits are not set now, they never will be. The financial stand is about drawing a permanent line that cannot be crossed again. This represents a fundamental shift in how the family handles money and who deserves access to royal resources. This financial standoff is the primary reason why many in the United Kingdom now believe the relationship between the brothers is dead forever. Money has a way of making conflicts real and permanent. Once financial ties are severed and legal barriers are erected, reconciliation becomes practically impossible. The Treasury lockdown represents a point of no return that even time may not heal. People who once believed the brothers would eventually work things out are now accepting that the split is permanent. Reports also surface that William is looking into the legalities surrounding Harry and Meghan's titles. While he cannot unilaterally strip them of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, he is reportedly consulting with legal experts. The concern centers on the commercial use of royal titles. This has traditionally been forbidden under unwritten rules. Harry and Meghan's departure from royal duties was supposed to mean stepping away from royal privileges. The royal family, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, will officially step down as senior members on Markle. Instead, they have continued to use their titles in business contexts, and this infuriates William beyond measure. The message from London to California is unmistakable and final. The door to the royal treasury is being locked. William controls access, and he has no intention of opening it again. For those who once hoped the time would heal the rift between the brothers, this financial lockdown represents the end of such dreams. The Sussexes made their choice when they left for California. William has now made this by ensuring they face the full financial consequences of that decision. So, do you think Prince William is right to cut off Harry and Meghan financially? Or is he taking things too far? And should Harry and Meghan be allowed to keep their royal titles while running commercial businesses? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.